Praise be Jesus and Mary. Now forever. The Our liturgy is filled with joy and praise. Our first reading, Jeremiah, speaks of the return of Israel to Palestine, after their exile. And so they are filled with joy that they are returning. They are returning to their homeland. And the second reading from the letter to the Hebrews is speaking of the high priest, our Lord himself, who offered the sublime sacrifice, but not only to redeem us, it was to redeem us, but not only, but in praise, well, as it's written here, as the one who said, "This is my beloved Son. You are my Son, this day I've begotten you." The Father. It was in praise of the Father. So the sacrifice of the Mass, which we are offering, is that very sacrifice of our Lord on Calvary. Yes, the sacrifice of our redemption, but also of praise to the Father. And then we come to the Gospel passage, and here we see again, well, it certainly concludes with praise and joy. We have the episode of Bartimeus, right? And we're told exactly what his name means. Son of Timaeus. Bar means son. And Timaeus, if you follow the Latin, actually was the Latin timere, is to fear, to be afraid. Now, I don't know that that's exactly what Timaeus means here, because it actually comes from Well, the original would have been written in Greek, so it could actually mean that too, but what would Bartimeus be fearing? Fearing that Christ would pass him by and he wouldn't achieve what he wanted. And that's why he calls out when he hears it is Jesus coming. And note how he says it, Son of David. He's acknowledging that our Lord is a descendant of David, King of Israel, who was king. He's already beginning to place his faith in our Lord. And he is seeking a miracle here, and our Lord rewards him with it because of his faith. And that's generally the way the Lord did it. It was almost always a consequence of the faith, due to their faith. And that's what our Lord is calling all of us to do. Have that faith. So here, Bartimeus is calling out, Son of David, have pity on me. I also put in there, have mercy on me. Keep that one in mind. I'll come back to that. Have pity on me. Have mercy on me. He's calling out for our Lord, for his grace, for his mercy. And then he is rebuked, and he calls out all the more. He's not going to give up. Good thing. And so our Lord stops. He's already heard him. He knows what Bartimeus is calling for. He knows already. So he stops. And he says, call him. The Lord will tell us the same too. Call him. Come to me. And so they go to the Bartimeus. Don't have courage. Get up. Our Lord is calling you, and he springs right up. And all of us would too if we're called by our Lord. If we saw him and really called us, we'd probably spring right up too. Particularly if we're seeking something from him that we know he can give us. All right. And now, our Lord, what do you want of me? Master, that I may see. Now we too suffer from a blindness. Certain blindness. That we too must call out, Lord, have mercy on me. What is that blindness? It is sin. Sin, the offense against God. Any offense against God who has created us, given us our lives, and loves us. So much so that he gave up his own life for us. That is the Son. our Lord, gave up his life for us. Right, and remains with us day and night in the Blessed Sacrament. He is calling us. What do we ask of him? Lord, that I may see, that I might be cured of this blindness of sin. Have mercy on me. And we hear the words of our Lord, the same words to Bartimeus. Go your way. Your faith has saved you. And our Lord repeats that several times when he works the miracles. Your faith has saved you. He tells us to. And then, as it was with Bartimeus, we see. He began to see immediately. Our Lord tells him, go your way. Well, what does he do? He follows our Lord. He becomes a disciple of our Lord. And that's what our Lord is calling us to do too. Place that faith in him. Call upon him for his mercy. That's why we have the sacrament of confession. And we will come out seeing, once again, seeing the grace that God gives us, as it were. Experiencing it. That God does love us. He is there. And he will save us. We must go on believing. Bartimeus did and followed him. So we must as well. Go on believing and follow him. Follow him all the way to our salvation, which is a cause of great joy, of great praise, and praise to the Father, praise to God, that he brings us to himself. Praise be Jesus and Mary, now and forever.